Unless you live in a cave, you know that video is big. That basically the people that are using video and the businesses are closing twice as many deals, rule of thumb, as those that are not. The difficulty can be what equipment am I supposed to use, and what workflow goes along well with that equipment, what types of videos should I produce, how should I publish them. While I can't address all of those questions in this one video, what I am going to do is run you through the 4 most popular recording devices that you can use to create videos, to shed some light on the pros and cons of each of them. So I'm going to start with a little USB webcam. This is what I'm using to create this video. What's great about these is, number one, they're cheap. You can pick them up for 50 to 70 bucks. You plug them in via USB to your computer and it records the video file straight to your computer. The video file isn't super high quality. I mean, the clarity of the video is high quality, but the file size itself isn't huge. It's already a little bit optimized, and you can also set it to like 360p, 480, 720, or 1080p. So if you're making like a video email, you may just want it to be 360p. So you can just quickly upload it to your host and send it out to an individual or group of people. Or if you're making a video blog post like this one, you can crank it up to 1080. But still, 1080p is the resolution of the video, but there's a bit rate that's also included in that, and it isn't a super high bit rate. Think of it as pre-optimized footage. And if you want really good quality audio, you can plug in this mic here. The USB mic is called the Blue Nessie. This mic is unique. It has a sound engineer built into the hardware. So the sound that comes out of this is pre-mastered. So the combination of these two devices enables you to produce videos very quickly, very affordably, and without having to fanny around with editing software. Next up, you have a cell phone. I use an Android. It could be an iPhone just as easily. These have video cameras built into the front and also the back. This back-facing camera, as though you're taking a picture of someone else, is higher quality than the front-facing camera, which is lower quality. That creates an issue, so when you hold it at arm's length, you're using the front-facing camera because you need to line up the shot, and the video quality doesn't end up that great. Also, just like with a USB webcam, the audio that's created by these isn't that great. So the equivalent of the Blue Nessie for a cell phone is a little lavalier mic. And what I don't like about these is you have to wire yourself up every time you want to make a video. You've also got to get the video footage off of your phone with the audio. You just transfer it, it's all in one file, or you can record the audio to one device and keep the video on here. And then you have to fanny around with editing software, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I think that in the next 2 to 5 years, cell phones will become a viable recording tool, but for now I think that they're just best used for things like I want to do a little video to post to Facebook, or I want to film something that's going on right in front of me and throw it on Vine. For those, let's say, non-professional videos, maybe you think of it as like, you see a lot of kids, filming police officers doing silly things like dancing. But in 2 to 5 years, I think these are going to be the primary recording device. The next one is a GoPro. I don't actually have one handy. GoPros are really small. You may have seen them, on top of snowboarders' helmets when they're jumping out of helicopters and doing crazy stuff, or on BMXs where you're doing that sort of POV footage. You can also use them for business videos as well. There's some great courses online on how to do that. They're phenomenal little devices because you can carry multiple around with you, so you can record the shot from different angles. And they don't take up much space in your suitcase. They do have an audio issue, so usually if you're creating business videos, you'll wire yourself up with a lavalier mic that's going to a little recording pack that's behind you, and then you'll mesh the video footage with the audio footage to create a high quality video. And if you're using multiple cameras, then you can shoot around the scene. I've used that setup before. The difficulty is usually you're planning out your shot a day in advance, then you're doing your shot, that takes a half a day or a day, and then you're editing your footage for another couple of days. So when I do that kind of stuff, I usually just hire a professional. The next level up is what I call the Mac Daddy. This is a DSLR camera. Specifically, this is a Micro Four Thirds, but really when I say DSLR, I'm just characterizing cameras that create really high quality video footage. Now this thing is great for filming in low light. It's great for when I want to get out beyond the length of my USB cord from the office that I'm in right now, which is my home office. I do carry my webcam and my USB mic around with me, so when I'm out and about, but ultimately it's always this kind of shot. So for certain types of video, let's say that I'm putting the video on a sales page or a landing page, or it's a front and center video that's going to be on my website that I can afford to invest 2 to 3 days to create. I use my DSLR camera, a shotgun microphone if I'm filming outside, add a wind filter to this. The footage is very high quality, so you've got to have a really good laptop to be able to handle it, and I edit the footage then in Sony Vegas. I'll usually bring in a professional to help master the audio, because the sound that comes from the shotgun mic needs a little bit of tuning. You've also got to do noise reduction on it. That's why for the majority of my videos, I do gravitate towards my little USB mic and my Blue Nessie, just because it's so quick and easy. I hit start, I hit stop. My audio's pre-mastered, my video footage is pretty much pre-optimized. I'm using these terms loosely to describe it. And I just upload the video to my host, and then I send it out to an individual or group, or I embed it in a blog post like the video that you're watching right now. These are great for, let's say, the edit-free videos. Your cell phone is great if you want to just post a quick video to Facebook or a Vine. Throw in a little lavalier mic if you want to make it a little bit more professional, maybe put the camera on a tripod. But this technology is really not there yet for business professional video. You've got your GoPro, which can be a great way not to have to carry 1 or 2 of these around, which are very expensive. And you can, film the shot from different angles and then lav yourself up, and then you have your DSLR-like camera and your shotgun microphone for when you want to do those real productions, let's call them. Now, there also is a price difference between these. This USB webcam costs 70 bucks. That Blue Nessie costs $70. Total cost 140. There's not much cost to getting a lavalier mic like this. It's 60 bucks. I'm using the new Rode Smart Lav here. And then you just pair it with your cell phone. Your GoPros run from anywhere from, let's call it an average of 300 bucks. But you're going to need to buy that lavalier microphone on top. And then your DSLR-like cameras will run you about $1,000 for the camera itself, about $1,000 for a good lens, and about 500 bucks for a shotgun microphone. So even if you just look at price alone, it's quite easy to see why you would go with this little trusty USB webcam. But then when you also look at the different production times, you start to see why for 80% of my videos I'm using a little webcam. And hopefully when you look at this video footage and when you hear the sound quality that I've got, you're pretty impressed at what this little webcam and USB mic can do. If you hear a little whooshing in the background, it's because we've got high tide here and I've got an ocean right out my window. It's not usually like that. That's just, a sound of my location. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, folks. I'm Will Franco, and I hope you found this video helpful.